How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the second installment of the new account series.
Take a second to look around. We'll leave as soon as you are ready.
This is a house. There's lots of stuff you can do in the
Check
house.
out
The
your
first thing we're
wardrobe.
going to do
Pretty
is
cool, no?
dress your
You
character
can
up.
keep your clothes in here and get changed
You
whenever
don't
you're
have very
home.
much stuff at the
I hear
moment.
you're the most stylish driver at the festival, eh?
It's
I'm
just a waste of
telling you,
money to buy it.
racing is all about one thing: dance moves. You learn them around the
You
festival,
don't have to
and then
dress
you
your
can teach
character
them
up.
to
It's
me.
completely optional.
Use your
This is
showboat
your
emote
car
before the
collection.
race, and the victory emote
And
when
all of
you win.
those were starter cars and
¿Qué onda,
VIP
amiga? These are all the
or
cars you've ever
welcome
owned.
pack cars.
There are some
This
gaps
is
in your
your car
collection, though.
pass.
You
It's
should do
over,
something
so you can
about
redeem
that.
all 42 of the cars.
Hey, amiga.
Make sure you collect
Nice
your
collection.
manufacturer
Some of the cars you don't
rewards
have can be
because they
purchased
give
from the
you
auto show
experience, and
directly
experience
from here.
gives you levels, and levels give you wheel spins, and wheel spins give you clothes that you don't have to buy, or credits, or cars. Now I am going to speed up quite a bit of this. Anytime you have the opportunity to, it is definitely worth it to paint your car, because what you can do after you paint it, first off, painting all the different parts of your car gives you accolades, which is good because accolades are what unlocks different expansions, different adventures. And you can also share the paint job once you're done with it. I did share the Supra. I didn't share the Bronco. And what happens when you share it, people sometimes will download it if they like it, and downloads gives you credits, and it also can, if people like them enough, it can get you legendary status. So anytime you tune a car, if you like it, definitely if you like it, don't share stuff that you don't feel comfortable with tuning. But if you tune something, you like the way it feels, definitely share it, because if people start realizing that you make good tunes, they'll follow you, they'll download your stuff more, and that is what leads on the road to legendary tuner and legendary painter status. And I'm tuning this for cross country. For all of the dirt races that we do, we are going to use the Hungan Kasi that we got. I always tune the gears last just because some of the alignment, springs, damping, and definitely the differential settings can change all of this. And I actually forgot to go back and change the 0 to 100 after I changed the final drive, but I realized that after we start driving a bit, the first couple of gears fell off, and I fix it. And again, I never share tunes until I've driven them, tested them, and liked them. Alright, so we're going to unlock the different expansions, the different festival expansions. And to do this, we are going to be doing all of the races and driving to all the races. And in between driving to the races, we are going to hit XP boards. There is a treasure map that you can buy and reveal. And once you do that, it will show you all the spots. I have it on my other accounts, so I kind of, I've gotten all of the XP boards and fast travel boards a couple of times now, so I didn't bother doing it with this. I kind of wanted to see if I could remember where they were from memory, and you'll see I drove past several of them. It's definitely worth going for those though, because any of those XP boards, they can help you get wheel spins, which again help you get credits and more cars. You never want to spend your credits on cars because this game basically throws cars at you. And I do skip all of this. YouTube has a cool function to let you slow down the footage. So if you really want to see any of this, change your playback speed to 0.25, as I've increased the footage speed by 400%. So if your playback speed is 0.25, you should be able to see it in real time. The audio might be a little bit messed up, but you'll be able to see the driving and all that fun stuff. And like I was saying, we are going to be doing all of the races because every single time you do a race, you get accolade points, and accolade points is what unlocks the Horizon adventures. And the Horizon Adventures, anytime you're allowed to do a Horizon Adventure, you can choose to unlock a festival outpost or expand on a festival outpost. And this erratic driving that you're seeing, I'm trying to drive on the roads. And anytime you see a grayed out portion of a road, sometimes it's worth it to drive out of your way to get it. I'm kind of doing a mixture of getting the XP boards, the fast travel boards, and making sure I drive on all the roads. Because again, the roads, if you drive on all of them, if you drive on enough of them, I think you get accolades for driving on 50, 100, 150, 200, and accolade points will help you unlock the festival sites. The goal here is to unlock Hall of Fame as quickly as possible. And to do that, the most efficient way to get accolade points is through races. So these times you see me randomly drive off in a certain direction is because I know that there's a fast travel port over there, so I go ahead and get it. Slowly I'm making my way over to the next race, which is another cross-country race. And we're going to zoom through this one as well, nice and quick. And I will be putting share codes. I did go ahead and go in and share this Bronco tune, so I am going to put share codes down in the description below if you want to use it, or you can rewind the footage and slow down the footage and just copy the tune. I won't be bothered. We are going to switch cars here since this is a somewhat longer drive. We're going to stick to the road and use the Supra again. With the fast travel boards and the XP boards, whenever you drive close enough to them, they will get revealed. So sometimes you'll, like right there, you'll drive past a spot and see a bonus board randomly pop up. And if you're not close enough to it, it won't show up. Now, the game does give you an option to use event labs, other people's event labs. I would recommend against it until you've done more races, just because you don't get credit for doing the race if you do somebody's event lab. So you might see event labs saying like easy 1-lap race or very short easy win. Anytime you do those event labs, it does not count as a completion for the race as far as your accolades go. You will get the 1,000 accolade points, but if you don't do all the races at least once just normally, there's an accolade for doing all exhibitions, which is what this is, and for that accolade you specifically do have to do the race normally. And it's easier if you just do the race normally as you go through it, just because it is annoying to have to go back and figure out which of the races you did normally and which of the races you did with event labs and which of the races you did with seasonal championships, which do count as event labs. And we'll get into the seasonal championships here a little bit later. We'll look at the festival playlist once it gets unlocked. Alright, we're going to slow down here for a second and look at the accolades and kind of give you a rundown of what the goals are going to be, what we're going to be aiming for.
You're making incredible progress, and everything is reflected here. Why don't you have a look around and decide what you want to do next? If you want, you can pin
These are
any
the
of these
different
challenges to your
accolades
dashboard
we
to
have
track your
unlocked so
progress.
far. And you can see we have 3 left. What we're going to do here, we're going to complete Welcome to Mexico. And to do that, we have to complete Emerald Circuit, win Emerald Circuit, and do 1 round of an arcade. And you can see here, this is the completion for Horizon Festival Mexico. And a lot of this stuff we don't have access to. Didn't feel like driving to those. So we're not necessarily going to complete the festival accolades, but we are going to be completing each category, which is Welcome to Mexico. The next one we're doing is road racing, which is going to be part 3. Sometimes it is helpful to pin it, but we're also going to be fully completing each of the expedition accolades as we go. We're going to head on over to the Emerald Circuit here. And I was going to do a Horizon arcade first, but the arcades, they happen every quarter hour on the quarter hour. So they happen, say if it's 7 o'clock, they happen at 7 o'clock, 7:15, 7:30, 7:45, and then 8. And at the time of recording, I actually forgot I couldn't fast travel, and the time was 11:10 p.m. and I really should have just driven to the one that was up there, but I went ahead and chose to do this because of a forgetful moment. We were able to complete this race right here in just about 4 minutes, but by the time we driven over here and finished this entire event, it was 11:15. And we look at it. Now the Horizon arcades, they're marked with a pink circle on your map. And sometimes it is challenging to find. And again, I wasted more time by coming in here to pin it. So by the time I go in here and locate the Horizon arcade, it closes in 1.5 minutes. And as you can see, there is no way I'm driving over there. Now, once you unlock the festival playlist, you do get 2 Horizon arcades. That's what you're seeing me doing here. I'm looking for the other Horizon arcade. There's not one because I haven't unlocked it yet, and there is absolutely no way of getting over there in a minute, especially not in this A-class car. So in the end, we decided to go ahead and get a faster car. And there was no way we were going to get over there fast enough, but I did want to go ahead and build an S2 car, and to give myself more options, I went ahead and looked in here. Now, as a new player, there are lots of stuff to take care of in here. Those are the tunes that I shared earlier. As a new player, there's lots of stuff here. All of this stuff is stuff that has been gifted out to players from the beginning of Forza Horizon 5 to now. So you don't miss out on any of that stuff. You actually, even better, you can collect all of these rewards all at once instead of getting one every couple of weeks or every month. So to get it, make sure you don't delete it. That's very big. But some of these, or a lot of these, actually are different gifted liveries on cars. And these are exclusive to these cars. So if you do remove these cars from your garage, accidentally delete that gift car, the only way to get these is through the auction house. And I would recommend against that, since this, again, was a car that was gifted to everybody. And if you buy it through the auction house, you're just wasting credits. And there's actually quite a few good cars in here that get gifted out, so you don't have to worry about spending your credits. because everybody got it for free. And I am going to test, I'm going to leave the super wheel spins for now, but I'm going to test because I'm pretty sure if we unlock the house that gives double Forzathon points, that we will get double the Forzathon points for those gifted Forzathon points. And I think they might have patched it, but we are going to test it just in case. All right, now let's select a car to build. I ended up going with my favorite car. It's really one of only 2 cars in my garage right now that make really good S2 cars, so it was kind of a no-brainer. There's a lot of them that make decent S2 cars, but I decided to go with my favorite as it is a very good handling circuit car. Now that I'm looking at this list, there's actually about 5 or 6 in there that make good S2 cars, but this one, Ferrari FXX-K Evo, is my favorite. I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up a little bit. Now this is stock rear-wheel drive S2, so it is kind of a handful, so we are gonna put a all-wheel drive tune on it, and as you'll see what happens after I tune it, I'm very glad that I put that all-wheel drive tune on it. But this is all-wheel drive, and I did test it a little bit because recently they updated something that made the tires, if something came stock with slick tires, it made it to where you can actually downgrade them to semi-slick tires. It's the Hot Wheels compound, is what made that. But I tested it. There's absolutely no way to get it to be exactly S2998 with slicks, so we went ahead and just put on the slick tires. And you'll see here, due to the Hot Wheels expansion, I always test out the top speed of the vehicle without the last gear and then extend out the last gear. Just because whenever you're going in a seriously downhill turn, it really does help on the Hot Wheels DLC if you have that extra gear there. And you'll see here, we look at here. Now, whenever you come out of a festival outpost, a lot of the times it will be bugged to where you can't see the Horizon Arcade. And if that happens, you just go over to Online tab and go to Horizon Solo.
This is Horizon Solo. You'll
Yes,
be up
I
against
realized
driver
that.
stars
Thank you.
rather than real drivers from around the festival. If that's what you'd prefer.
No, we're gonna go back to Horizon Live. Our avatars over here are idiots. Alright, now we're gonna go and look, and we should now have Horizon Arcade. And of course, it is on top of the volcano. So I'm very glad that I went ahead and changed this to all-wheel drive, otherwise this would be an impossible task. We have a minute to get up here before it actually starts, and keeping in mind that after it starts, you are able to enter it for up to 2 minutes afterward. And this is by no means a good dirt car, but at the moment this was the fastest I have, and I happened to know this Horizon Arcade, and I knew what the 3 events were. Knew the thing could handle it, especially since it was all-wheel drive. And I do like doing Horizon Arcades when you're lower level, because these PR stunts right here, the only way to even be able to see them before you unlock the Horizon Rush Outpost is the Horizon Arcades, and that's one thing that I really like. Unfortunately, there's only 2 on this one, not 3. Most of them, if you're lucky, there's just 2. Some of them only have 1. I don't think there's any of them that have 3 back to back. back over here to this speed zone. And I was really unfortunate here because my 2 runs, if the second run had been just a tiny bit faster, it would have just been 2 runs. So I kind of go all meme with this last one. We start in last gear and stay in last gear the entire time because we literally could have got 2 miles an hour on that run and it would have been enough. So now we are all complete with the Welcome to Mexico Accolades. Next we're going to do all of these expedition accolades right here. When we do those, by starting the expedition. I thought about changing cars, but like I said, there's not really any cars I have that are better than this, which is unfortunate at the moment. So we are going to cross-country this S2 road tune. And as you'll see here in a second, it didn't go well the entire time, but it did better than I thought it would. Alright, now for the expedition itself. So the expedition, you can cut some of the corners just a little bit on this one. Now whenever you go to do the last drive, you can't really, and I'll demonstrate that once we get a little bit closer. There's not really any benefit to cutting the corners just because it's not really necessary. Just that helps you get it done just a tiny bit faster. Alright, now there are 5 things you've got to do while you're inside of here. The first one is just follow the road this way, and you'll see a spot for a radio beacon right here. And then now, after you place the beacon, you should have 2 more. One is right here, and the other one over here. You're actually supposed to go at that from the other direction. It makes a lot more sense with the new barn find rumor. But first, we're going to follow the road this way and get the Jade statue. And for some reason, the lighting was different when I went into fast photo mode. Not sure why. So we are going to get these real quick, and we've got a couple of epic failures here in a row. This thing is not the most stable. Finally, we just decided to rewind it. Now, if you go at it this way, it makes more sense because she says she thinks she saw a barn from up there. We are going to do all of the barn finds later, where we're going to do all 14 of them back to back to back to back and make a video of it. And as you saw there, it reset me because I went too far off the track. So you can go a little bit off the track, as you'll see right here and right here. But you can't go that far off the track. And again, if you want to see this thing in its entirety, just slow down the video to 0.25 playback speed. And you can see it. And here's the outpost. Now, I was going to stop the video here, but I did want to include some very useful information on playlists. Now, the festival playlist changes every week. It starts, for me at least, Thursday at 9:30 in the morning. Technically, it starts at 7:30 Pacific time. And you'll see, since we did all of those, we did unlock another festival. And again, you want to unlock all of the outposts first, and then expand them. That way you have all of the options.
Hey Munchkin, this is the festival playlist. It's a year-round guide to new events and exclusive rewards at Horizon Mexico. So
this is the
make
festival
sure you check
playlist.
back each season to
These
see
are the
what's on.
different options. Those 2 are Hot Wheels. You have to unlock Hot Wheels S2 to be able to do those. That was the weekly Forzathon. And these are the daily challenges. They
Hey
expire
Munchkin,
after 7 days.
This is
That is the
Forzathon shop.
Forzathon
It's full
shop.
of rare and
You have to
exclusive rewards
do
that change over
sometimes
every season.
these events on the
So
playlist
take
give you
your
Forzathon
hard-earned
points.
Forzathon points and go
And
shopping.
the other ones you're going to get from arcades. We are going to do a couple of these actually right now. I went ahead and got in this thing right here. I'm going to tune it up just a little bit. And this Trailblazer right here is actually pretty difficult. You have to take the perfect route. Most A-class off-roaders can do this. I decided to go with this one just because it's a welcome pack, so most of the people that have this game have the welcome pack. Alright, so let's go over to the Trailblazer. And again, if you want to see how to do this Trailblazer, I do have a guide out on YouTube already. It was posted on Thursday. Or you can slow down the video. I was going to drive all the way along that road, but we will be driving on that road for a road race here next chapter, so I just decided to wait. Alright, I'll always set a marker at the end gate, which you can see when you hover over the start point. This exact route, okay? You have to go through the trees like a maniac and full throttle the whole way. We 3-starred that just barely. Now we're gonna do the danger sign, and I almost seriously messed up and forgot to save the tune, because I do like this A-class tune. I realized it at the last second that I forgot to save it. So we go through here, we save it, and download the other tune. Always set a marker, especially for danger signs, so you can see which way to go. And just full throttle all the way. There we go. Next thing we're going to do is a treasure hunt and the seasonal collectibles. Now the treasure hunt, you have to get in any electric vehicle. I went ahead and went with this just because this is one of the only electric vehicles I have, and unfortunately I did drive straight into a Horizon Arcade, so you'll see me kind of driving around trying to drift while I'm doing this. It really was just a token effort. I wasn't seriously trying to, but I was also looking for the spot in Playa Azul where there are the little fruit stand carts, and you saw there was one there. So that was one. Again, I'm hitting the batteries along with it. I know it's around here somewhere, but it took me a while to actually find exactly where they were. You'll see me, there's another one, that's 2. You'll see me just casually, terribly drifting in this. There they are, that was 3. It does take a minute to get another one, that was 4. There's a cooldown timer. And that was 5, and I was confused because it didn't pop up. It didn't pop up because I was in a Horizon Arcade. I do go back and hit a couple more just in case. And at this point I kind of just gave up and figured I would have to either wait till the Horizon Arcade was over, or that it was just bugged. Yeah, I checked just to be sure. I went ahead and got a drift car, because drift cars can do this much better than a electric Taycan Turbo. And of course the stage 2 was on the other side of the map, and I can't fast travel, so I did drift just to get some skill points, but I was not expecting to get there at all. I tried for a bit, but I'm not a very good drifter, so I apologize if your eyes are bleeding watching this. challenge, the treasure clue popped up. Please don't forget to drop a like on the video if it helped you out, and subscribe with notifications on if you want to see more content like this. I do seasonal PR stunt guides, which go live 30 minutes prior to season changeover each week, and I'm also working on PR stunt guides for all PR stunts in the game, which will include expansions as well. Alright, so we got the treasure chest, and we will continue the rest of the playlist on the next chapter. Y'all have a good day. Thank you for watching.